What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG TCG video. Today, guys, we are going to be going over the new Rocket support that is set to release in the newest set, Burst of Destiny. We finally got the cover for the next upcoming set. We just got done with Dawn of Majesty, and now we are going into the next set, Burst of Destiny, and I'm very excited. And we're starting off with Rocket Monsters, as this is very, very exciting because we got a Rocket Ritual Monster. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. Rockets has almost every single summoning mechanic. The only ones that was missing was Pendulum and Ritual, and in this, we finally got the Ritual for it. So now it has every summoning type except for Pendulum, which is pretty cool, to be completely honest. I think that's tied with Playmaker's card right now because he had Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, and Xyz, but didn't have Pendulum. So now we finally got a Ritual for Revolver, which is really, really cool. So that's what we're going to be covering in this video. We also have another dragon that might help with this, and the Ritual spell card. We got 3 cards for this upcoming set, which, funny enough, one of the cards on the cover, well, it's actually just one monster. The monster on the cover art looks like a Borrel monster, but it actually isn't. We don't know anything about that card either. I just wanted to kind of quickly mention into that as well, because the pack looks cool. The monster looks like a Borrel monster, but I don't know what that is. We don't know any information on that. I'm very excited to learn what that monster is. It looks like a Borreload monster to me, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. But getting back on topic, you guys are here to see the new Borreload Ritual monsters. So let's not waste any more time and let's get right into it. So as per usual, we're going to do the same format as we always do. We're going to do the monsters, then the extra deck, and then the spell and trap cards. We have no extra deck that we're going to worry about. We just have monsters and then the spell card, the ritual spell card for this set. But we will go over the monster first. We're not going to go over the new ritual monster. We're going to go over this monster first, then go over the ritual monster. So the first monster we're going to go over is Dual Wield Dragon. It's a level 8 Dark Dragon effect monster with 2500 attack and 1500 defense. Its effect is you can only use this card's name's first and second effect once per turn each. 1. You can tribute this card and target 2 rocket monsters with different names in your graveyard, special summon them in defense position. Okay, this is a way to just get some of your rocket monsters from your graveyard to maybe go into some potential link summoning, or being able to just activate their effects to maybe trigger something from them. So that's pretty interesting. And then the second effect is you can banish this card from your graveyard, add 1 rapid trigger or heavy trigger from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Okay, so I'm going to just assume that heavy trigger is the ritual spell, as rapid trigger is actually the fusion card for the Borreload to get Furious Dragon. So I like the fact that this card can search either of the 2 spells that you want to, whether you want to go into Furious or go into this new monster. So that's pretty cool. I like the card, although I have one problem with it. It's not considered a rocket monster. And the reason I have a problem with that is that cards that target rocket monsters, Squib Draw, Quick Launch, Boot Sexter Launch, you can't use it to get this card onto the field. And I wouldn't have a much of a problem with that, but it doesn't have a way to special summon itself. It's a level 8 monster, so you're going to have to tribute 2 monsters just to get this card onto the field, just to activate that card's effect. And you tribute the card just to bring back the rocket monster, so I feel like kind of that effect is pointless. Maybe there's another way you can special summon it, which there probably is. I would be very surprised if there wasn't a way to summon this card. So luckily you can special summon it, but I wish you could either special summon it from this card itself, or use it in the actual archetype. I wish it did that instead of having to try to find another card just to special summon this. I feel like that would have made it a lot better, in my opinion, just to get onto the field. It just seems to me like it's more useful if you just pitch this card just to get one of your spell cards, one of the rapid trigger or one of heavy trigger. So I like the card. I just wish there was an easier way to special summon it in the archetype itself or on this card. But that's just my opinions on that. But let's get into the big boss monster for this upcoming set. And here it is, the new Borreload ritual monster. The monster is called Borreload Riot Dragon. It's a level 8 Dark Dragon ritual effect monster with 3000 attack and 2500 defense. You can ritual summon this card with heavy trigger. Makes sense. Also, I love how the fact that Dual Wield Dragon is also level 8, so if you do get that card into the field, you can basically use that one if you want to, if you just want to use one card for it. So that's pretty cool right there. Its effect is you can only use this card's name first and second effect once per turn each. First effect, when your opponent would special summon a monsters, quick effect, you can negate the summon, and if you do, destroy the monster. Then destroy this card, or one rocket monster you control. That's not a bad effect at all. Being able to stop your opponent from summoning a monster, then being able to destroy either this monster or a rocket monster is good, because the whole gimmick with rockets is destroying them so that way they can activate their effects. So you can use this card to be able to target one of your rockets, they self-destruct, and then they're able to activate their effects to disrupt your opponent even more. So I like that effect. I think that's actually a pretty solid effect for rockets. Its second effect is if this card is in your graveyard, you can target one Borrel or rocket monster in your graveyard, destroy one card you control or in your hand, and if you do, add that target to your hand. Okay, what's kind of hilarious about this is that you could technically target this card itself and bring it back to your hand, and then use Dual Wield Dragon, banish it from your graveyard, and be able to add Heavy Trigger from your graveyard to your hand, and that way you can just resummon this card back to the field, and you can just use or tribute a card in your hand. So if there's just a dead card in your hand that you're not really needing right now, or you need it in the graveyard, guess what? You just use this effect, being able to bring this or any Borreload monster you technically can do. You can do Savage, you can do Furious, you can do the original one. Sure, with those monsters you're gonna have to resummon them, but I'm pretty sure that's not gonna really be that big of a problem. I don't believe it, but that's pretty cool. And funny enough, you can bring Furious back to your extra deck, because you can't bring a extra deck monster to your hand, you have to send it to your extra deck, and then use Dual Wield Dragon to get Rapid Trigger. So that's actually cool. You can do something with that as well. So there's a lot of potential. Or just get a rocket monster back. Silver Rocket, Rocket Recharger, Auto Rocket. Like, there's so many rockets that you can target that you can bring back with this effect. So, overall, I think it's a pretty solid card. You're able to get back your monsters when this card is in your graveyard, and you're able to negate your opponent's summons and being able to destroy your rockets at the same time. That way you can trigger their effects. So, overall, I don't think this is a bad card at all. I really think this is a pretty solid card. Will it be used in a rocket deck? I think there's some potential. I don't think you're going to play many copies of this, just because of the fact that you can keep researching it, and you can use something like, technically, say for example, you play 3 Heavy Triggers and 3 Dual Wield Dragons. You basically get 6 times to summon this monster. So that's pretty cool if you want to do it that way, but you don't have to just play many copies of Borreload Riot, because it can easily bring itself back. So overall, pretty cool monster. I really do like it. But guys, that is going to be it for the monsters. Now it's time to get into the spell card. The ritual spell card for this set for Borreload Riot Dragon, Heavy Trigger. This card is used to ritual summon Borreload Riot Dragon, which makes sense. Obviously, if you're going to have a ritual monster in the set, you got to give it a ritual spell, right? Its effect: tribute monsters and or destroy rocket monsters from your hand and or field whose total levels equal 8 or more. And after that, ritual summon one Borreload Riot Dragon from your hand. And if you do, that summoned monster cannot be destroyed by battle with, and is unaffected by monster effects activated by monsters special summoned from the extra deck. That's actually pretty cool. So that when you ritual summon Borreload Riot Dragon, you give it some protection from extra deck monsters, which, let's be honest, most decks, if not all decks, play extra deck monsters. That's basically what Yu-Gi-Oh! Is known for, is their extra decks. If you're not playing an extra deck in 2021, I don't know what you're doing. You're probably playing Monarchs or something like that. But being able to protect from extra deck monsters forces your opponent to have to try to destroy it with their other cards, which might waste their resources. use for their extra deck play. So that's actually pretty cool. I like the fact that this gives a protection to Riot, since Riot does have no protection on it in its actual effect wise. So you summon it via heavy trigger, summon Riot Dragon, it gives it its protection, and then your opponent has to force you to use summoner cards, which is possible. It is possible, but you can try to protect it by any other means as well, so you can give some protection. But I love how this is built into this card to give some protection to Riot. So I do like that effect. And also, funny enough, you can search this ritual spell as well. You can either do it from Dual Wield Dragon, like I was mentioning earlier, or Pre-Preparation of Rites, which is a spell card that is allowed you to get any ritual spell that you want from your deck to your hand. Most decks that play ritual decks are going to usually play that card just to be able to search it, so you can add that as well and basically get it to your hand easily, and then maybe you have to find some way to get Riot to your hand pretty easily. But overall, I think this is a pretty good card. I'm glad that it kind of gives some protection to Riot. I think that's pretty cool. And also being able to destroy your rocket monsters, it does the same thing that Rapid Trigger does. With Rapid Trigger, you're able to destroy your rocket monsters to be able to activate their effects and go into your fusion summon as well, so that they can activate their effects when they're getting destroyed. So that's pretty cool as well, that you can do it with Heavy Trigger as well. But guys, that is going to be it for this new rocket support. General thoughts on the cards. I'm very excited for these cards. I am really, really excited. I'm just glad in the fact that we actually got a Borreload ritual monster. I really do. This does make me kind of wish that we saw this in the anime, because we didn't get to see this card. We didn't get to see Borrel Dragon, which was a card that was released in a legendary gold box set, which, as an extra bonus, let me know in the comments, do you think there is a chance that Borrel Dragon, the Link 5 Borreload, by the way, will it come in this set as a reprint? Sometimes they'll reprint cards into sets. Do you think it has the possibility of doing that? Because this is the perfect time to put Borrel Dragon into this set, because for us TCG, we don't have the card because it was in a Legendary Gold set. Most sets, like Legendary Gold sets, we don't get. So the cards that are in there, if they don't get a reprint in something else, we're not going to be able to get the card. So maybe this is their chance to get it. I have no idea, but getting back onto the actual topic, I do like these cards. I like that Dual Wield can basically get back the spell cards, and Riot can get itself back, so that way you can keep recycling this card if you want to, or be able to recycle any of your rocket monsters, even your Borrels. I feel like maybe you won't use your Borrels as much because you have to resummon it, but to be fair, it's easy to get into those plays again. I mean, if you could do it once already, you can do it pretty easily. I know you could get Savage pretty easily onto the field, so if that card gets destroyed, you can just bring it back, and then your opponent is going to have to deal with it again. So I love how it's being able to basically get your Borrel rocket monsters. That way it can basically help generate you more advantage, or just getting resources back if something is destroyed and you want to get it back. I like that. And the fact that Heavy Trigger also is able to protect your monsters as well. I like that. So overall, I really do like this set of cards. I don't know if the Rockets will play it. I think they will. I don't see a problem with why you wouldn't want to play this. Probably just one copy of just Riot and Heavy Trigger, just because of the fact that you can recycle these cards. And it may be Dual Wield. I don't know. The problem, again, with Dual Wield, I wish you could just summon it easy with like Boot Sector Launch or something like that, and make it a lot easier and more playable, because I feel like if it had something like that and was treated as a rocket monster, there would probably be an argument to play 3 copies of that in your deck just to be able to play the mass amount of this. But I feel like for Rocket decks, they might not just play it, just because of the fact that you have to technically find another way to summon it, which, I don't know, maybe if they can find a way to easily summon this, maybe it will be incorporated into a deck. I don't know. But this card would definitely help in the long run. But Riot and Heavy Trigger, I don't think you need to play more than one copy of it if you're going to make a rocket deck. You can make an argument to. I think Riot just needs to be at 1, or like 1 copy, because the fact that you can just keep bringing it back is just so easy, so I don't feel like you need it to. I think it would just clutter your deck, but obviously that's just my opinion. I would like to know your guys' thoughts on that as well. But with that being said, that is going to be it for this OCG TCG video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on these cards. Do you think they are good cards? Do you think they're okay? Or do you not really think they're that good? Let me know if you guys want to see Borrel and Dragon in this upcoming set as a reprint. I just want it just so we can get it, but I would understand if it doesn't. I doubt they're going to do it, but it would just be a good opportunity. But we'll have to wait and see. And let me know what support you want in this set. I'm very interested to see what kind of support that you guys want to see in this, whether it's range related, whether it's 5Ds related, or whatever the case might be. Let me know what archetype or something that you want to see in this upcoming set, Burst of Destiny. I would really like to know your guys' thought on that as well. But guys, that is going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, guys, take care and have yourselves a great rest of your day.